Hi guys, so I'm gonna watch a video of I'm gonna watch a music video and let's talk about it. This is Start Over by Flame, which is a Christian rapper with featuring NF, which is also a Christian rapper, both of them that I have heard multiple times. This is the music video, so I'll also see if I'll be talking about the scenery or anything. Let's go.
Everybody's got a blank page, a story they're writing today, a wall that they're climbing. You can carry the past on your shoulders, you can start over regrets, no matter what.
Now, very first thing that I realized here is he's out talking in the mountains. And like a lot of movies and that you see, that thing where you feel like you're giving up and that area, you're out, you're shouting, you're done with. I mean, like also how it says in the Bible that Jesus went out in the desert and got tempted by the devil, and he went out there for 40 days. I mean, that was standing out here. It's all dried up. It's all done. I'm done. And how he says climbing mountains, and he's literally standing on rock saying it. So it's very visual what he's talking about right there. And I paused just at a part where you also see a bird flying, which some birds, it represents death, depending on the bird. And other birds, it represents, freedom and that. For example, with Noah's Ark, the dove represents land, represents the hope and freedom of its new time, new area, like what the rainbow means. Here, there's all you see is a bird's silhouette, the black part of it, because of the lights and that. And for me, it's like, it's kind of a mixture of it, like it's all wild. You're in a wild scenario right now. Okay, let's continue.
What you gone through, Jesus, he gave it all to save you. He carried the cross on his shoulders, so you can start over.
If you look at the singer, NF, then you can see he looks exhausted. And this might be, it's just a singer, but he looks both exhausted, but the way he's like really passionate, trying to tell people, like it's like a warning, this has been me, this feels like me, but there's a solution, like listen to me, come on, that face, like listen to me. That's kind of his, like he's like really going deep in and just, I'm done, but God gave me the start over.
Don't let your heart be troubled. Don't be afraid.
Then I notice where Lacrae comes in and starts rapping. First thing is that the passing switch of the screens is actually different colors. So it goes from NF's a bit dark, sad mode to Lacrae, where it's a bit more colorful, but you're still in the desert. And where Lacrae, of course, starts rapping, which often equals with rappers, they express with their hands, where he starts with that too. Let's continue.
To the broken hearted, their wishes paid. Never been born, never been torn, never sinned, never disobeyed. I know you think there's no hope, no, but that ain't true. Jesus saved. I know you feeling regret, like I brought the.
Alright, one more thing. They are doing a lot of screen switches where they do that coloring thing, and I honestly don't know why. It's a bit, I think, well, in a way I think I do know why. Let's put in, I don't find it necessary. I think it's them making it dramatic, like you hear that beat, like forgiveness, and that's very effective, but they are playing with your visuals, and you're hearing here with both that and the light, while you're hearing that rapping go, and how rapping goes, which, just want to put this on the table. I like rap. So in case anyone thinks that, yeah, anything, who knows what people think. Okay, let's continue.
All on myself, like I messed it up big time, and this time I don't deserve God's help. Thinking, how can God forgive me? After knowing what I hid, can he? After knowing that I hid from him and I stayed away and backslid. Listen, Jesus came for the sick.
Now, if you think a lot about the music video itself, the cameras are focusing a lot about the surrounding nature and on the hands. Because A, this is a very emotional, expressive song. And in a bit, I'll go into the text too. But also with, like I said earlier, with where they're standing in that. It's that thing with the desert, with feeling like giving up. But the desert is also a strong place because there's actually plants that live there. They can find water because of the way they are. And it's a good lesson for us to know that even when you're in your driest place in your life and that, then there will always be a way out. Otherwise, desert plants couldn't live.
Jesus came for the weak. Amen. Jesus came to give good news and to set the captives free. Amen. Listen, Jesus came for the poor. Amen. Jesus came with the keys. Amen. Jesus came to remove the chains so the prisoners can be released.
Everybody's got a blank page, a story I'm writing today.
I really like how they represent the singers in a mixture of what the song's about, with the sadness and more what do you call it? Expressional way that Lacrae does, but also here in the chorus how they flick between the two now that they've both been introduced in that. Bug going there.
You can carry the past on your shoulders. You can start over regrets. No matter what you've gone through, Jesus, he gave.
I love that every time that NF, as I said, him and Lacrae are both Christian singers. Every time that he says Jesus, that he looks up. And I love that part because it's kind of a glorifying of God. I myself am a personal believer in Jesus and God. And whenever people look up to God, it just, that perspective of, yes, he is behind me, in front of me, next to me, but it's also my God. He's up there. He's there for me. He's up there. It's hard to kind of say that he's up in heaven because according to some, there are multiple heavens. And who knows, I might go into that some other video, but that with how you look up to God, like, my God, my Savior, like, I really like that.
It ought to save you. He carried the cross on his shoulders, so you can start over.
See, his love is deeper than the ocean floor. Run to his arms like an open door. God the Father sent the Son so men can come and be free and gotta run no more. Come to me, all who are weary, with heavy burdens I'll give you rest. Separating you from your sin, as far as the east is from the west. Thrown in the sea of forgetfulness. What sin, what offense? And when them waves come crashing in, now calm the winds in your defense. So whatever it is that you've done, he put that punishment on his son. You'll never come under his condemnation, conquer sin and Satan and his accusations. So dry your eyes, lift up your head. Hallelujah, God is not dead. Plus he gave us his peace, and he took our guilt on the cross instead. Took our place and now we embrace a clean slate with the eyes of faith. We do unfailing love, unfailing love. It's not too late, start over.
A story they're writing today, a wall that they're climbing. You can carry the past on your shoulders. You can start over regrets. No matter what you've gone through, Jesus, he gave it all to save you. He carried the cross on his shoulders, so you can start over.
That's such a beautiful song. Okay, and now to what they actually sing.
Everybody's got a blank page, a story they're writing today, a wall that they're climbing. You can carry the past on your shoulders, you can start over.
I really like the chorus, is also the intro to it. But I love the words he's saying that with everyone's having a hard time and that, but you have a choice of giving it up to Jesus because he's already told you to give it up to him, or to have on your shoulder, go around with the weight of the world, with the weight of everything that you've had, your past, should the things you might have done or others done to you, who cares? Everything that's weighing on your shoulders, you have a choice. Jesus ain't gonna just come and take it from you because you have your free will. So are you gonna press the start over button, or are you gonna continue with this heavy load, which no human really should?
Over regrets, no matter what you've gone through, Jesus, he gave it all to save you. He carried the cross on his shoulder.
I like this part when he says, no matter what you've gone through, Jesus gave it all up to save you. Basically, that thing with some of us has experienced things, whether it is, whatever it is, I can't remember the words right now. But people have experienced things, and that might make them feel unworthy. Or ungrateful or something like that, made them feel something really down. And it's a reminder that with whatever you've been through, you are worth it. It's not about that. No one can make you less worthy than you yourself allow them to. That, I believe, is a quote from Princess Diaries, which is a good movie.
So you can start over.
Don't let your heart be troubled, don't be afraid. To the broken-hearted, their wishes paid, never been.
I feel when Lacrae starts rapping, it's literally, he's kind of putting what Jesus and God says about us, however you want to put it. He puts that in kind of a letter from your godly father, kind of a thing. Like he's telling, I don't care I don't care. It's not about how you are. It's not about those things. Come to me. It doesn't matter if you feel unworthy, if you feel unloved, if you feel disgraced. Nothing can make me not love you, not want you. So come to me. I'm your dad. I want to look after you. I want to help you in that.
Never been torn, never sinned, never disobeyed. I know you think there's no hope, no, but that ain't true. Jesus saved. I know you feeling regret, like I brought this all on myself, like I messed it up big time, and this time I don't deserve God's help. Thinking, how can God forgive me? After knowing what I did, can he? After knowing that I hid from him and I stayed away and backslid.
I really love what he says here, because it's gone from he is rapping about what's God saying to us with, hey, I know you feel unworthy and all this, but come to me, to a twist back to the person saying, well, but, like you would say, how would anyone love me? How would I ever find a husband and wife with the things I've done or the things that people have done to me? Because. And it's so human. And it's funny to say that because, of course, it's human, but it's so human that all of the things in our life has made bad experience for us often. But it's so many of us have it. We look so alone, but at the same time, we are together in our loneliness. Because so many of us feel guilty, we feel unworthy, we feel unloved, we feel like we're lost, we feel we can't be loved by anyone, let alone a God, a God of love and that, and we can just be miserable and just what's our life worth? And it's like, that's so human. That's so, I mean, not even just teenagers feel like that. Kids, adults, elders, we all have, most of us definitely have had that hopeless feeling that with, well, what stupid stuff I did, how could anyone love me? With the stupid things that were done to me, how would anyone want to touch me? With the stupid thoughts I've had, how can anyone want to talk to me? But we forget two things. One, someone has probably also done that, because there's not many things you can do in this world anymore that someone hasn't done in some way. And just also that with a lot of people have done that. And stop looking down on yourself. And there's this God of love we're talking about. Love in itself. Oh, what is that? I'll just find it fast. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always serves, and love never fails. That is 1 Corinthians 13. The part in the Bible about love. Let's put it in another form then. God our Father is patient. God our Father is kind. God our Father does not envy. He does not boast. He is not proud. He does not delight on evil, but he rejoices with the truth. God our Father, and Jesus, of course, also I'm talking about, he protects, he always trusts, and he always hopes, always preserves, and he never fails. Have that as an interesting thought, since, of course, a lot of people have bad experience with fathers. So having a heavenly father, for some people, it's like, that can't be because a father is not nice. Well, that's different. In the first I have no idea what that word is. The first book of John, verse 19, Jesus' definition of love is the reflective nature of this love is highlighted. We love because he first loved us. Now remember what this song is about. This song is about how you've been through so much bad and shit and uncomfortable things. How can anyone love you? But Lacrae and NF want to remind you that there is someone that wants to take the load of you. Someone who will love you. And all you need to do is say, God, I want to start over. Give me a fresh. No matter what age you are, you can say that. Let's go back to the song. Take a second. That's a long pause. Okay.
Jesus came for the sick. So true. Jesus came for the weak. Amen. Jesus came to give good news and to set the captives free. Amen. Listen, Jesus came for the poor. Amen.
I love how he says Jesus comes to set the captive free. Now, if you've been on my channel before and heard all my own songs, I've made a song called Captivity. It's in, I believe it's my first vlog or whatever it's called, that video. But it's a song about the two different kinds of captivity, the physical one, but the mental one also. And that with Jesus sets you free of your captivity. So whether it's mental, whether you have, let's say, PTSD, you have something traumatic that happened in your life. So whenever something similar happens, your body reacts in a way, it freaks out or whatever. Like you were in the war, and then when you hear fireworks, you run after you're gone because your body is telling you someone's trying to kill you. When all it is fireworks. That's PTSD. Well done, Miranda. PTSD, post-traumatic stress something. I usually remember these things. Whatever. You can look it up. PTSD. But just that he's there to take off your load. Forget about all these things that you've done. It doesn't matter. He loves you no matter what. Ready to start over on a fresh. Have a good life with Jesus, because that's what he wants with you.
Jesus came with the keys. Amen. Jesus came to remove the chains so the prisoners can be released.
Everybody's got a blank page, a story they're writing today, a wall that they're climbing. You can
Let me just say the verse, the chorus again there. Everybody's got a blank page, a story they're writing. And remember, you can start over. Everyone's got a blank page. Everyone's got something going on. But they also have a choice to make a new blank page. A blank page, a story they're writing. We all have a wall that we're climbing, and that things that we're facing. I mean, people that succeeded in life, it's often because they've climbed those walls and they continued, and they kept because of love, because they continued in that they loved it, they wanted to do it for themselves, for others, or they had God with them, that they could continue into that hard and go through to what was easier.
carry the past on your shoulders. You can start over.
And here he also says, you can carry your past on your shoulders. You can. But he's saying as a question, you can. Or you can start over. And then he changes it again in the chorus to, Jesus took that cross on his shoulders, walking that far up with those thorns in his head like a crown, bleeding, and up there, hanging on a cross for you. He did all of that. And yeah, it might sound silly right now, like, okay, 2,000, sorry, not 200, hold on. 2,000 years ago, some man might have done that for me. What's that helping me now? Yeah, that's a good question. If you put it in black and white, a man that did that many years ago. But if you think about that, it's not physically he's here, it's more mentally. It's kind of like the government, in not a negative way, in the you feel the government's all around you because of the law, because of how people are, because of their work. But the government physically is not here. That's kind of a really bad example, since most people hate the government and that, but it was the first thing that came to me. Or the wind, you can feel it when it's really strong, the wind, but the wind's always going to be there. I mean, there's always going to be something here, this. So, but I just love that. I love how he, the next part of the chorus goes, regrets no matter what you go through. How, of all the words he could choose for that song and starting over that, he says regrets, because what is the one thing, well, two things that we humans often have is letting ourselves down, but it's regret. Most of it comes from regrets and that. So that emphasizing regret, which is why I know a lot of people try to focus on what do you need to do to not regret. Go and talk to that person if you know you're going to regret in the future. The less you regret, the more happy you'll be. But don't do anything stupid and then regret doing it. I'm really bad at happy talking to people right now. See, love is deeper than the ocean floor. Let me say that again. His love, and we just read about what love is. His love is deeper than the ocean floor. Let me tell you, dear. Let me tell you something interesting about the ocean floor. We have not physically seen the deepest part of ocean. We know more about space than we know about ocean. That's a funny thought, huh? So, his love is deeper than something we haven't even known yet of depth. And that thing is deep. I mean, it's really, really, really deep. I mean, even when it's not that deep, I have the respect fear for it. But it's really, really, really deep. His love is deeper than the ocean floor. Kind of gives me all like, this is wow. Like, I have a God that loves me that more than a very, very deep, 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 deep sea that we don't even know how deep is. These are the kind of songs that gives me hope when I have a really bad day. It's also one of my karaoke songs, so let's continue.
Like an open door. God the Father sent the sons of men can come and be free, gotta run no more. Come to me, all who are weary, with heavy burdens, I'll give you rest. Separating you from your sin, as far as the east is from the west. Thrown in the sea of...
I will set you free from your sins as far as the east is from the west. Oh, whichever way compared to how you're seeing the camera. Depends. But east, west, that's right now on. This is my west, this is my east. So, and compared to those two, how far from each other they are. Like, wow. I mean, and if you take Earth as big globe thing, warp, east from the west, I mean, yeah, they hit each other at a point, if you can think of that. But if you think of a straight line, that's further than far. I know I'm not helping myself here with the description, but whatever. He will take my sins, whatever problems I have, hear me out, any problems I have, as far from me as the east is from the west. So from, let's say, eastern countries from the western countries, just as a little example. I mean, that's not all the distance we're talking about here, but still, that far away. And then he'll throw them in. He'll throw all our sins and all the problems we have. He'll throw them into the sea of forgetfulness. It's kind of like saying, you know what, you have $1 trillion debt. I'll take that. What's that? I love you. Come here. That's kind of what he's saying to us. And it's like, wow, that's love. I don't care what problems you have. It doesn't matter what difficulties you have in that. I know you. I love you. Away with those things in the sea of forgetfulness.
Forgetfulness, what sin, what offense.
And I love how he emphasizes the thing with pull you away from your sins, far away as east is from west, and throw the sin into the sea of forgetfulness. And then he goes into God's mind kind of a thing and goes, what sin? What, I forgot what the second word was he said there. What sin? What things? I don't know.
And when them waves come crashing in, I'll calm the winds in your defense. So whatever it is that you've done.
And this one is interesting. Sorry. He says, and when the waves come crashing in, I'll calm the winds in your defense. And I've never actually understood 100% what they meant by this, but analyzing it now, I think what he means is, and when things attack you, when things are trying to attack you, and that, he'll come in and calm it. Like when he's taking away your sin, and whenever someone wants to accuse you, get after you or anything, he'll stand in and calm the seas. And remember, a lot of times you think, well, why isn't God calming the seas right now because it's so wild? Well, you can't calm the seas if they're already calm. It needs to be a storm for someone to calm it. But there's always an end of the storm.
Put that punishment on his son. You'll never come under his condemnation. Conquer sin and Satan in his accusations. So dry your eyes, lift up your head. Hallelujah. God is not...
So he says here that God put all our sins in that on Jesus. So everyone that's been born from the start of the world till whenever it will stop, all that was put on Jesus, who was born human but was God's son. Wow. Wow.
And plus he gave us his peace. And he took our guilt on the cross instead. Took our place and now we embrace a clean slate with the eyes of faith. We do unfailing love. It's not too late. Start over.
A story the right
I love
answer
also with the song how
of
it's
all that
about
they're claiming.
a lot of things in my life that's happened, and that how to talk about it, that you're like, how can I forget this, or how could someone do this? You're upset, you have anger, you have trust issues, you're paranoid or something, you have so much regret in that. And this is also an important message to remember. It's not always about forget what happened. It's about praying for it to happen. Because we'll almost always remember what tragic things have happened to us, or bad, sad things that's happened to us. But God's actually saying it doesn't have to happen. It does. You don't have to remember it. That with stop thinking about remembering it, ask me to take it away so you can live a happy and peaceful life. Because there's going to come enough troubles and that. So let's take a thing at a time and like heal you. You might remember some of the things happened, but you won't feel angry. You won't feel like you need to now the robot's coming, so that might be noisy. Revenge, that's what it's called. That you need to revenge on anything. You might just feel sad, like things that happened to me in the start. I couldn't even talk about it, anything. And now, when I think about it, I just feel sad for those people, and that those things happened, and it's like, it must be because they did something. And that with how praying about it got that change of perspective of heart, that instead I'm really mad at them, I want revenge, I feel hurt, they ruined a lot of my life, to I want to get what's owed. But other than that, I feel sad, and I feel they need help because of what they did. It's interesting how that changes.
You can carry the past on your shoulders. You can start over regrets, no matter what you've gone through.
I love how they say about that with having the weight on our shoulders, but at the same time, we all have a wall we're climbing. Now let me ask you this. Would you ever go mountain climbing with a whole lot of rocks? You'd be like, why would I do that? I'm climbing under rocks. Like, exactly. So if we would go climbing on mountain, hill, whatever you want to call it, we have our rucksack with the equipment we need. But we wouldn't, of course, take any big, heavy stones. Then why in our life do we allow ourselves to go up on tall mountains in our life, metaphorically, of course, go and work really hard with the tools we got in that backpack, but also we're pulling that big rock with us? Why are we doing that? Why are we putting that weight on our shoulders? We should let it go. We need to pray about letting it go and being free on that. And for me, it's like, it's okay, girl. It's okay. It's just a vacuum cleaner. For me, it's like, think about it. Physically, you know it's stupid to bring a big bunch of rocks when you go climbing or hiking or walking. So why would you, in your life, when you go somewhere, when you take a new path in your life, when you're going up a mountain in your life, would you, other than your tools, take your regrets and bad things that happen? You want them to be let go, because it's extra weight that's just going to make it take longer time and going to drag you down in that. You don't need to do that. Let go of the things, because everyone's going to climb that wall, like they're talking about. Everyone's going to climb that wall. So, do you want to make it easier or harder on yourself?
Jesus, he gave it all to save you. He carried the cross on his shoulder.
And again, how they say in the chorus, no matter what you've gone through, no matter, literally, there isn't a matter in the world that can give a reason that Jesus won't love you or won't take your burden. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if you killed someone, if you raped or you were raped, whichever, yeah. If you were in something like that, It doesn't matter if you were someone that bullied or were bullied. It doesn't matter if you denied God, if you wanted to come back to him. It doesn't matter. There's no matter.
So you can start over.
I love here at the end. This is mainly about visual. How is it? How you can he put the cross on his shoulders. Jesus died so that I could get rid of my problems, basically, or most of my problems, some of my problems, depending on the problem. And then you see how I guess it's an eagle over there, how the eagle's soaring over like that, freedom. Because what do we want? We want freedom and peace. It's not about getting a world that has freedom and peace, because you're not going to get that. It's about having a perspective of freedom and peace. I feel quite free in the sense that I know I have a lot of abilities. I know I have a lot of abilities because someone's taught me. I know it because I believe anything I put my mind to, I can do. And that's only because I've proven to myself multiple times. Otherwise, I wouldn't be where I am today. So, hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching. And yeah, hope you'll enjoy my other reviews. See ya. And once again, this is the song Start Over by Flame and NF. Some singers I really, really like. So, if you're into the rap and deep songs but with good tune and rhythm and message, go for it. See ya.